Spain. Oh, once again, champions of Europe, defeated England by 2-1 in the final in Berlin. It was a poor first half, lacking any sort of quality. But then Spain would take the lead early on in the second half, which is quite something considering they lost Rodri at half-time. England then would bring on more of an attacking lineup. Cole Palmer would get the equaliser, but Urasabat in the end, after a great ball in from Cucurella, would score the winner as Spain are champions, once again breaking England's hearts. Right then, there we go. I think we can all agree the best team won.
Yeah, I mean, not just the best team today, the best team all throughout the competition.
Football won. Football won. We have to be wider than that.
There's a couple of Englishmen here, and one of them is very raw.
I think I'm all right, actually.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not bad. Look, if we were the better team and lost because of a break or a mistake, but in this scenario, I think anyone can watch that game and say, yeah, Spain were the better team, they created the better chances, and therefore they deserve the trophy.
And again, it's one of the things we talked about, if we look at England briefly, was just this dull, negative, not getting the best out of some world-class players going forward, and got away with it in a lot of games, did not today. Came to life when they had to, with the substitution, but then sat back again.
Yeah.
And let's be quite frank about this. Spain scored 2 wonderful goals, and I mean brilliant goals, but it could have been 3 or 4. Dani Olmo missed a very good chance. Lamine Yamal missed a couple. And also, Spain lost, you could argue, the best midfielder in Europe at half-time in Rodri.
Yeah.
So they were absolutely brilliant and thoroughly deserved it.
Yeah, most definitely, as we've seen throughout this whole tournament.
I don't. You're completely right, and people you speak to on the phone, nobody can disagree with you. No one can disagree with the assumption that Spain have been the best team during the tournament. They were the better team today. They made the better chances, albeit England had a really good chance, which was cleared off the line right at the very end. But that was down to kick, hope, panic stations. Spain could have been 2-3 up. England started the second half really poorly. Spain, losing Rodri, started it on, electrically, made really good chances. The first goal was beautiful. The winner was a lovely goal as well. And I said all along, if England's performances haven't been good enough and they needed to buck the trend today, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And the best team in the whole tournament carried on in the same vein that they have, won the 7th game on the trot, scored goals like they have done, defended really stoutly, and have lifted the trophy.
It's why I say football won, because that's not against the English. No, but it's not against the English. It's against all the other teams, and France included. Especially France, we didn't show anything. And the 2 favourites were England and France. And we can say that overall, we are very disappointed with all performances they had. And in the contrary, Spain, for 7 games, they kept the tactic that they had, the way that they wanted to play. I think they should have killed the game earlier. And Dani Olmo had a big chance, and after Lamine Yamal also. But overall, they tried to play vertical. They were very positive in their thoughts. When they scored the first goal, they kept the team very high. Everything was perfect in their side. And now we can say that England didn't play. They played like they had to go forward because they conceded the goal, because they were losing. And as soon as they score, they dropped.
England
crazy.
All the guys that play at their clubs that are used to having possession of the ball, right? Foden, Kane, Saka, Bellingham, Rice. They're all playing. I mean, you watch any of the teams that they play for. Arsenal, Real Madrid, Man City,
Bayern
Munich. They dominate. They dominate games. They pass the ball. And yet, these guys come into this England side and you're telling me all of a sudden they can't retain possession of the ball?
No.
This is down to... And I know international football's a little different, but that's not down to the fact that tactically and talent-wise they can't do it, because they're some of the best players in Europe. It comes down to the approach. And there might be a bit of a pile-on with Harry Kane, because he's clearly been off his game in this tournament. But England can't use that as an excuse, because the Spanish have won that without a guy who's, one of the best, really. Morata's not. He does a job.
Yeah.
But he's not a brilliant striker. They've done it because other facets of the team have been excellent. the two guys in the middle of the park for most of the tournament, Fabian Ruiz and Rodri, just want to get on the ball and boss the games. And Dani Olmo wants to do a bit of both. He wants to get back, work his backside off and help them, and then get up and make himself a threat at the other end. And the two youngsters, pace, width, and they want to start. The first thing they want to do, Williams and Lamau, is take the ball and turn and go forward. England at this tournament too happy to go back the way.
And the best example is, and I'm going to Gary Southgate, Cole Palmer. How come that player didn't play before? Southgate needed like 10 to 15 minutes to make the substitution with Cole Palmer, with Ollie Watkins, and to put the urgency onto the pitch. That's something unbearable for me, because Cole Palmer should have played from start.
But explain this part to me. Once Cole Palmer scores, we were saying, go for it now. Go for that second goal.
Yeah.
Why? Gareth Southgate's not on the touchline saying, get back, go deep.
I exclude him on that matter, because it's only up to the players.
That's the players?
Yeah, that's the players.
But these are all players who, as Craig said, top-level players playing for big clubs. Psychologically, why does that happen?
I can't even answer, because we see that Spain scoring a goal, as I explained just before, staying up on the field, very high on the field, where England, they scored the goal, say, okay, we're going to go to penalties. That's crazy. They are the only one who can say why they do that, because they have the psychological.
They have the momentum.
They have the momentum. And when they score the goal, so you're above Spain, and you allow Spain to come back to heal from the problem and finish you. That's impossible. In football, you cannot do that. And especially from experienced player, as you said, who knows exactly what it is to have the ball and to make the others suffer. It didn't happen.
What is it, 7 games to win the tournament?
Yes.
England have had, a good 45 minutes against a very average Holland side. And they hung in this first half today. It wasn't a great first half. In fact, England had the only shot on target, which was Phil Foden.
Yeah, the first half wasn't very good.
But still, they were outplayed in the first half. It wasn't brilliant, but they were completely torn apart in the second half. I mean, some of the Spanish football, it's not 2010, 2008 or 2012, for sure. That's a difficult mantle to follow. But some of the football was terrific, wasn't it? I mean, Cucurella's not playing regular at his club. You've got 2 centre-halves, one of them in Saudi Arabia. Got 2 youngsters up in the wide positions, but they've been just so good to watch. And you talk about you can't put things on Gareth Southgate. I think you can with this coach.
But what about what I was trying to...
I think you can with the Spanish
What about them
coach?
dropping off when they get the equaliser?
Dan, I think that's just psychological, and everybody does it. You get back into the game, and then your first instinct is to defend what you have. And England getting back into the game 1-1, they've suddenly just gone, right, we're back in the game, let's just defend. Let's just get drop and let's just defend. It's wrong, of course it's wrong, because you are on top of the game. The crowd are on your side. We've got the majority, England's had the majority of the crowd today. So you should have tried to put your foot to the metal and get after Spain. But I understand, because we've all played in games when you're leading and you're holding on for dear lives at the end and you're just trying to get over the line. I've played in games like that myself.
Steve, allow me to jump on that matter. Why Southgate doesn't go almost on the field and say, oh, guys, come on!
Well, at times he did. In his defence, at times he was telling them to push up. But sometimes when you're getting outplayed and the ball's getting popped around you, you just sort of go, well, I've closed down once, I've closed down twice, and the ball's gone past me. So now I'm not going to go. I'm just going to stand. I'm just going to sit in the shape. And that's what's happened. And when you're playing against the best, Lamine Yamal got best young player of the tournament. Rodri got player of the tournament. The Spanish have just dominated this tournament right the way through. And sometimes you just hold your hands up and say, England tried to close the game down in the first half. They tried to make it ugly, and to a certain extent they did, because Spain were not great in the first half. But in the 15 minutes of the second half, Spain got a little kick up the backside by the manager or whoever's given the kick up the backside, and they come out like a different team. First goal was beautiful.
Yeah, let's talk through that first goal. Obviously, it's not with Carvajal.
Yes. Ball to Carvajal, and the outside of the ball, the flick with the outside of his right boot into the path of Lamine Yamal, who played Nico Williams in. And then Nico Williams finished it really, really well for a young man with limited experience. Kept his eye on the ball, and it was a lovely goal. And then they made another chance, and then another chance, and another chance. Dani Olmo should have scored, should have been the leading goal scorer, but he pulled his shot wide. And the writing was on the wall then for England. The writing was on the wall. We had to make a change after, you know, Gareth had to make a change by bringing Harry Kane off because he would have been criticised for not doing it. And then you get back in the game and then it just goes against you at times, doesn't it? But for me, it's not a huge problem.